So apparently the Fever just leaked their starting five. According to this graphic right here, it seems like people have now jumped to the conclusion that the Indiana Fever have completely leaked who their starting five or revealed who their starting five is going to be.
The WNBA world was rocked when the Indiana Fever disclosed their starting five lineup. Mitchell, Dan Anabona, and Caitlin Clark-Kelsey, the final two rookies of the season and two max contract players, shared the court with Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston in this formidable tandem.
And yeah, this is apparently what it's going to be. Caitlin Clark at the 1, Kelsey Mitchell at the 2, DeWanna Bonner at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the 5. Obviously.
How will team chemistry change with such star power? And what does this formidable lineup signify for the rest of the league? The true story here may be Sophie Cunningham's unexpected response to her supporting role, which would explain why the Fever may now have the winning recipe they've been lacking. However, let's examine what exactly makes this specific five-player combo so exceptional.
Because in order for the Fever to achieve the goals that they have in front of them, everyone is going to need to buy into their role, and it's up to Stephanie White to put the best lineups out there, the best lineup combinations, and all of that. I took a stab at projecting what the starting five will be, and it's, not a huge leap, but obviously Caitlin Clark's going to be the point guard.
The core starts with Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who is revolutionizing the game with her incredible court vision and boundless range. She is a playmaker who anticipates passes before they are even made. During the previous season, Kelsey Mitchell averaged over 18 points per game and had a remarkable ability to create shots against any defense.
Kelsey Mitchell, the shooting guard, the most potent backcourt in the WNBA. I think DeWanna Bonner will be the Swiss Army knife kind of player at the 3.
With a height of 6 feet 4 inches and a shooting touch that few teams can match, Diana Bonner adds championship pedigree to the mix. Aaliyah Boston, last year's Rookie of the Year, completes this powerful unit with her footwork and basketball IQ in the post from her youth. Natasha Howard anchors the front court with her defensive tenacity, transition scoring, and pick-and-roll expertise.
Natasha Howard fills that hole that they had at power forward, especially they were lacking somebody who could run the floor, catch, and finish. Aaliyah Boston is the center who doesn't hunt for shots but can be a key cog on both ends.
Each player's skills complement those of the others in this lineup, which works like a finely tuned orchestra. The spacing they create will confuse opposition coaches. Two-team, you are punished by Clark Mitchell for concentrating on perimeter defense. Few teams can equal Boston's basketball symphony, which is created by the balance of shooters, playmakers, and defenders.
Load up. It was already tougher to load up on Kelsey Mitchell last year because Caitlin Clark was there. And when Kelsey's able to get out in transition, she's so fast. And when she's able to take you one-on-one, there ain't much you can do.
The Clark-the-Boston connection is particularly noteworthy. These two have years to build chemistry that will rival the greatest tandems in WNBA history. What makes this truly remarkable is how the team's firepower of over 70 points per game from the previous season now focuses in one lineup, with Clark's playmaking likely to increase everyone's efficiency even further. With Boston's devastating screens and rolls complementing Clark's precise passing, these two could become basketball's most dangerous young duo.
And I know they're not exact, some of them aren't exactly max, but they're essentially max. 3 max contract players.
Aces and Liberty should pay attention. With this combination of youth and experience, Indiana isn't just preparing for the future. They are announcing themselves as contenders right now. The Liberty may find their defensive schemes overworked, covering all 5 threats at once, while the Aces' smaller lineup will struggle to contain Boston inside.
Sophie Cunningham, the first player off the bench to provide lineup versatility and shooting. Either way, there are a lot of options.
The secret weapon that may truly put Indiana over the top is concealed in plain sight, as everyone's attention is focused on that headline-grabbing opening 5.
Now, what's interesting is how the rest of the rotation is filled out, because I would expect Cunningham, Hull, Turner, and Colson to play.
Sophie Cunningham's response to leaving the bench was not one of sadness or annoyance as one might anticipate. Rather, she stated that she was happy to play a supporting position alongside Caitlin Clark, citing how uncommon that is in modern professional sports.
So I saw Sophie Cunningham talk about how she is thrilled to join a supporting role next to Caitlin Clark and that she's playing on a stacked Fever squad.
The sports community has seen veterans consistently reject their current bench positions. Carmelo Anthony turned down that offer, and the Rockets left the team completely. When Kyrie Irving's role did not align with his expectations, he caused internal conflict with the Celtics. Cunningham's eager acceptance of a supporting role contrasts with these usual responses and could end up being a distinguishing characteristic of the Fever.
Sophie Cunningham, who I mentioned before, who I do think will be the first player off the bench because of all of the things she can bring to the team, where they can go small with her and spread the floor. I mean, you can go real small. You could play Howard at center and Cunningham at the 4, something like that. Really space the floor out and give teams a different look. She can play a traditional spot on the wing, of course. And she has a little bit more, I think they're listed at the same height, but she has a little bit more length and size, I believe, than Lexi Hull. And that's, another shooter out on the floor.
Players that know their unique duties are essential to championship teams. Cunningham's demeanor indicates a significant shift in Indiana players' focus from individual stats to team success. Her attitude perfectly captures what Coach Stephanie White needs to do to unite these stars. This spinning element of the bench when starters take a break, specialists are prepared to keep up the intensity. Cunningham's ability to play a variety of positions allows the Fever tactical flexibility to change their lineups. As the expected sixth woman, she provides the second unit with starter-caliber capability.
I think we've seen a lot of Brianna Turner working out with the team. I think her ability to set screens, hopefully catch and finish, could give her some minutes, because Aaliyah Boston really the only kind of what you would consider a center on the squad at this moment.
With her screen setting and finishing skills, Brianna Turner ideally complements the team's playmakers. When surrounded by elite passers, her dependable inside presence becomes crucial for turning opportunities into points. The team's defensive identity is maintained throughout starting rest periods by Lexi Hull's hustle and defensive tenacity, which solidified her position via effort rather than shooting percentages.
And then there's Lexi Hull, who was relied upon a little bit too much a season ago. Lexi's a little undersized to guard some of the players that she had to guard, and would get in foul trouble. And when she got in foul trouble, it was really debilitating for the team. Now I think she can bring that energy all the time and not have to worry about the foul trouble because of the lineup versatility that they have. For Lexi, the key is, can she continue to hit at the clip from 3 that she did the second half of last season? And she's got to get better at finishing around the cup. I mean, that's an area of improvement.
Throughout what will undoubtedly be a tough rookie season, Christy Mao offers consistent leadership throughout Clark's rest periods. Her background guarantees that the offense stays on course with the second unit.
It's the reason why I think the Indiana Fever they're so well set coming into next year. I don't expect a rookie to make this team. I really don't. If you look at this team, my expectations is, obviously they've got 12 players here.
Few WNBA teams are able to maintain style and intensity over the entire 40 minutes, which is this bench strength. This constant pressure weakens opponents and turns close contests into resounding wins. What if I explained to you how Indiana intends to use Caitlin Clark violates all of the conventional WNBA offensive guidelines? Instead of using the conventional strategy, in which point guards start plays from a stationary position at the top of the key, the Fever are creating a groundbreaking offense that keeps Clark moving all the time. This isn't just about putting talent on the floor.
You'll see Clark in motion more this year to free her up for cleaner looks. Clark's three-point percentage was not probably where it needed to be. I think one way to get that up is to get her cleaner looks off the ball at times, though she should still have the ball the lion's share of the time. What they really did do is add those rim runners around her.
It's basketball whack-a-mole, except that the mole can shoot from 30 feet. Traditional WNBA defensive schemes aren't built for this. They are made to handle point guards who primarily orchestrate from up top, not ones who threaten to score from anywhere at any time. Consider what this means for defenses throughout the league. They've never had to track a point guard with Clark's shooting range constantly weaving through screens, cutting backdoors, and moving to unexpected spots on the court.
And then, of course, when you have more weapons, a lot of people are worried. I don't think they have players who need the ball to score, but they have more players who can score. which is going to make it tougher to load up. It was already tougher to load up on Kelsey Mitchell last year because Caitlin Clark was there. And when Kelsey's able to get out in transition, she's so fast. And when she's able to take you one-on-one, there ain't much you can do. And then Clark, the same thing. What are you going to do now? You're going to have to pick your poison because you're going to send the whole defense at her again. Well, she's going to pick you apart. You know, they have 5 players who were in the top 30 in scoring last year.
Suppose that Clark starts the play at the top, passes to Howard, and then instantly sprints through many screens. As the defense tries to catch up with her, she unexpectedly arrives in the corner for a wide-open 3 before they even see her.
You know, what the Fever really needed last year, they got killed on the boards at times. They got killed defensively at times. They lacked a little bit of toughness and oomph. And I think, you know, collectively, the new players fill that mold. I mean, they got players that have been around the block. You know, Sophie is tough and tenacious. You know that Dewana Bonner has been in every situation imaginable, right? So all of that is huge. Same with Howard. You know, that experience, that's something Sydney Colson talked about, who also has the experience. Everybody that's coming in is having the experience, and it's not often you see such a drastic overhaul.
This strategy's genius is in the way it makes use of the unique skills currently present on the roster. Bona and Howard, when Clark cuts in the lane, these seasoned players act as rim runners to enhance his movement. They dive to the hoop at the exact moment, forcing defenders to make difficult decisions. Stay with Clark or assist with rim drives. Driving lanes are made possible by the essential spacing created by Hull's three-point shooting. Defenders are unable to let her go to assist with Clark's maneuvers.
Last year, I basically said there were 4 reliable players in Clark, Mitchell, Boston, and Hull. Everybody around that has been reconfigured, and the coach. And, you know, the coach has familiarity with Bonner. She also has familiarity with how to guard Caitlin Clark.
Together, these 5 real scoring threats in constant motion, each expertly positioned to play to their strengths, form an attacking scheme that may be nearly hard to defend. Pick and roll activities turn into pick and move actions. Turning inside the back door, dribble handoffs. Cuts, simple cross screens develop into choices for various scoring.
And as much as the starting 5 is pretty much dead set right now, I could potentially see one of Sophie Cunningham or Lexi Hull maybe breaking into that starting lineup. I could see that happening at different stages during the year.
On paper, this motion offense appears to be fantastic. But here's something odd that no one is discussing yet. What is actually happening with Tammy Fagbottle? If you've been paying close attention to the Fever, you've definitely seen that the team photo featured Ben Lay standing next to Coach Stephanie White. Usually, that's a very strong indication that a player is part of the team's plans. But then an odd thing happened.
Do we not remember with Tammy? Do we not remember they had a picture of Stephanie White with 6 players? And they were allowed to protect 6 players, and it was Tammy as one of the 6? Do we not remember that? Turns out they protected Dantas instead of Tammy.
And Indiana offered 6 protection slots for a promotional photo, but Fagley wasn't one of them. Instead, the Fever selected Damaris DTIs. Rather, this surprising choice raises questions about the ultimate roster makeup and leaves supporters wondering if the starting 5 is really etched in stone or if it may be a sign of a big deal. Basketball transcends the court and into the front office, and Indiana looks to be making a number of moves ahead of the competition. The Ben Lay situation suggests the Fever may have more moves planned before the season ends. This puzzle piece suggests possible trades or additional signings that could change some roster positions.
I do believe people give way too much credit to social media managers and accounts for the, you know, behind the scenes knowledge that they might have about a team. So I wouldn't take that to the bank because those were the players that were on the graphic. They could have just been randomly chosen.
Depending on particular games and tactical requirements, Sophie Cunningham might start during the season. Her skill set gives Indiana the adaptability that many teams lack, enabling them to change their lineup in response to opponents that try new things that may help this squad stand out during the demanding WNBA season. While other teams may be forced to stick to strict rotations, Indiana's freedom to switch up lines, try out new player combinations, and adjust to opponents may be their secret weapon. The Ben Lay situation shows that Indiana prioritizes strategic adaptability over emotion, as the Fever seems to be designed for flexibility, enabling them to change their strategy and be willing to make difficult roster decisions today. champions are created via constant improvement and modification, and the Fever appears to get this at a basic level.
But I genuinely think Coulson, Hull, Cunningham, Dantas, Bree Turner would actually win versus last year's starting 5. Because obviously Kelsey Mitchell was injured, Erica Wheeler's Erica Wheeler, Caitlin Clark just wasn't ready, and she was playing shooting guard a lot of that game, let's be real. Aaliyah Boston was not great coming into the season, and Alyssa Smith was arguably their best player. Like, that's the craziness of that. And like, the Fever are so freaking stacked as a team.
This season marks the Indiana Fever basketball renaissance, a team rising from rebuilding years to potential glory. The newly redesigned roster, with its perfect blend of veteran leadership and young star power, has turned a rebuilding team into a legitimate contender overnight. Dan Annabona and Natasha Howard bring battle-tested toughness and experience that championship teams require. The Fever have built something special with depth that allows them to attack in waves for a full 40 minutes. The stage is set for a season where Caitlin Clark and company redefine what is possible in the WNBA.